Hello friends, subscribers and channel members. So today I am in the new Aerosoft CRJ 550 and of course the CRJ 700, recently released this week by Aerosoft, and I have been given a copy by Aerosoft, so big thanks to them, which will allow me to showcase this beautiful aircraft to you over the coming weeks and days. Today, however, I want to focus on one of the first things that many of you will want to do when getting your hands on this aircraft, and that is setting up custom views. So obviously you've seen in the A320NX from fly-by-wire, when I'm flying during the live screens, we flick seamlessly between the window, the passenger cabin views, outside, and of course higher views in the flight deck. So I wanted to do something similar here in the CRJ, and I'm going to show you very quickly how to do that. So when you are not in the simulator, you can't have the simulator loaded for this. The first thing you're going to need to do is locate your community folder, which is where the CRJ will be installed, and there it is, the Aerosoft CRJ. Go into there and then into Sim Objects, into the airplanes, and there we have both the CRJ 700 and the CRJ 550. Now I'm just working with the 550 at the moment, but the same method will apply for the CRJ 700. So if I now go into the CRJ 550, and what I want to do is find this file right here, the cameras configuration file. So what we're going to do is we'll open that up, and when you do, the first thing you're going to see is this page here, and the line in the text that we're looking for is this bottom one just here. You'll notice under the views that there are 5 or 6 different ones here, but it's the bottom one, the one without the semicolon in it, which is the one that we want to use and edit in order to start setting up our custom views. I believe in the CRJ 700 none of these are actually there, but it is just this one, and that's the one that we're going to edit, the matching seat and balls with less zoom. So what I want you to do is this value here, you can see it's -21. We're going to actually take away 40 from it, so we're going to make that to -61, and then we'll click save, launch the simulator, and then we will be ready to have a look inside the aircraft. So if I now go inside the aircraft, the first view you're going to find after clicking fly now will be something like this, and as you've noticed, it appears as beautifully rendered as the cabin is. Aerosoft don't appear to have made it completely watertight, so if it's raining or you're flying through dense precipitation and snow, your passengers may get wet, but that's a story for another day. Okay, so this is now the main view that we have got and have set up. What it means is now the main camera is actually focused outside of the flight deck, and that's important because you can use your arrows on your keyboard to move left, right, up, down, etc. But when you're in the flight deck, you actually can't escape the flight deck. You can't move around outside of it. So that's why it was important to initially set that eye point custom view in the config file. So now I'm out of the flight deck, I can simply use my right mouse button to rotate as we would do normally, and we can go and have a look and find a view that we like. Now it's a little bit fiddly at first, but you'll soon get the hang of it. So I'm just moving up, down, moving to the left, having a look, see if I can look out the window, and there we go, and that looks rather nice. So if I decide that I want to set that as my custom view, the way to save these, you can use you can have up to 9 custom views, I think, and you select Control Alt and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 0, so you can have up to 10. Control Alt whatever. So I've selected the custom views that I want to use. I've got Control Alt 5, Control Alt 4 all the way through, and then once I've got those all happy, the way that I then recall them is I bind them to my my side stick, which means I can seamlessly, whilst flying now, flick between a new custom view on the left, a new custom view on the right. We can also jump forward to the flight deck. We can also look outside, because these are all custom views that I have set up using Control Alt and then whichever number you wish. Binding them then to buttons on the side stick is quite relatively straightforward. So if I now just come to my controls, and we'll just have a look to at the game controller, and if we just search now by a name, so if we just type in views, and if we come down here, we should start to find somewhere there should be a custom views. I tell you what, instead of that, let's just search for custom. There we go, load custom camera, that's what we're looking for. So when I've pressed Control Alt and then whichever number to store the view that I like looking around the aircraft, then I can set these to buttons on my side stick, which then allow me to, as I've just shown you, let the camera move around very freely. Okay, so once we've done that, then we can come back, resume. You then need to exit the simulator, open back up, find back into the community folder, back into the aircraft CFJ, airplane, there we go, back to the CRJ 550. Open back up your camera's config file. Once you've opened it, you need to set that back to where it was, which is 21. Then we can save that, relaunch the flight simulator, and that will then have you sat back in the flight deck as it would be normally, but your custom views will now be all set up to work and get you back into the flight deck. The way to get you back into the flight deck is, because you don't need to set that as a custom view, is once you have selected a custom view. So for instance, I'm now going to select my left-sided seat there. If I now select the left-sided seat again, there it goes. That just takes you back to the eye point that you left it at, which would be normally, once you've got those figures back in the config file correctly, back into the flight deck. So I hope you found that video useful. If you have any problems, leave me a comment down on the video below, and I'll be happy to come back and help you with those. So hope you've enjoyed that. I look forward to showing you a little bit more in Aerosoft's new CRJ very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye bye for now.